problem we are trying to solve is how can we use what we learn about momentum and impulse in order to minimize the force experienced during a collision between two objects. Mass, velocity, force, and time play a big role in this. Mass times velocity equals momentum, and the higher momentum means the higher chance the egg will have to break. The egg loses all its momentum when the egg hits the concrete. The momentum is a lot of force and a small lot of time when it hits the concrete. Force times time is the change in momentum, or also known as impulse. Impulse is also important because the more force and time you have equals a bigger impulse, and with the bigger impulse, the egg is probably going to crack. Our constraints are we will only have 25 minutes to build our device. We cannot do any pre-testing with the egg. We only have a certain amount of materials, which are one small sealed plastic bag, 5 sheets of copier paper, 1 meter of masking tape, 1 meter of string, 10 straws, and 1 paper bag. Our design was to use all our resources and put them all in the brown bag to cover up and protect the egg. We started off by cutting 4 straws in half and using that as our first level of padding. We then crumpled up half the paper we had into balls and used that as our second level of padding and protection. After, we put our egg in the brown bag, and then we used the rest of our paper and straws as padding so it was protected from every angle. We then taped everything up so it was more secure and tied a piece of string on the top so nothing would move around.
We tried to keep our design light enough so that there would not be a ton of force acting on it. We didn't want it to be so heavy that it would bring our egg down quickly and with a lot of force on it.
In terms of impulse and change in momentum, we tried to make the egg land on a soft surface by putting paper and straws under our egg. Compared to landing on concrete, if the egg lands on something cushioned, it's a smaller force over a longer period of time because as the egg hits the soft surface, the force is transferred to the paper and straws the entire time.
The height of the drop affects the force of impact for the egg during collision. With more height, there's a greater impact on the egg because it takes more time for it to land, so the force in the egg increases as well. The more time and force equals higher impulse. The height of the drop affects the momentum of the egg as it is dropped. The higher the height, the more momentum and impulse. The higher height means more velocity because it will catch more speed. High velocity and time means more momentum and impulse. The time of impact will affect the likelihood that the egg will break. Like the gymnast on the trampoline, the longer impact time helps her rather than hurts her. If she were jumping from that height on concrete, she would hurt herself. But because she is jumping on a trampoline with a long impact time, she is unharmed from the fall.
I would improve upon my design if I did this again by making my design land straight instead of on its side, and logistically moving everything in place instead of having everything in one big cluster. I would logistically place things.